Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from whichever part of the world you may be joining us. It's so good to be back at these community tech talks. I missed you all. I know we had a late start during the year, but great to see you all here. And welcome to everyone from many parts of the world, from India, from Paris, Spain, Ukraine. Welcome you all. I myself am based in Mexico, so it's always to be able to connect with many people across the world. So the song you were listening at the beginning, it was a choice from a speaker. It was Nothing Else Matters from Metallica. So thank you, Dennis, for the great intro song. And let's get things started. The agenda for today is I have some few welcome and updates and notes that I want to share with you. From there, we're going to shift the topic to the deep dive that Dennis will share us today as he introduces Stropha AO. At the end and throughout the session, we're going to be having an interactive Q&A. So if you want to share your questions with the speaker, feel free to drop them in the chat, and he will be doing some pauses along the way so that he can cover whatever inquiries you may have. And at the end, we'll be having the closing remarks and sharing with you some recent resources we have shared in the community. With that, I will leave you with a message from Kevin Malmaster, the Manager of Customer Engineers in EMEA. So let's hear what he has to say for us.
Hello, community. Welcome to the first session of 2026. My name is Kevin Bouwmeester. I am welcoming you to our new series for our Tech Talks. We're looking forward to amazing new sessions, and we want to continue what we started last year with the community. So I wanted to kick this off. Unfortunately, I can't be here in person, but through this recording, I'm still here virtually, right? What we're going to do in 2026 is two small changes. We go to a bi-weekly schedule, so we'll do alternating weeks. But we still have the option to add additional sessions in between if we feel there's some topics that we want to present. But for now, we are planning to have a session every other week for you. And we'll have varying speakers. I'm rotating through my team to bring everybody's subjects and topics to the agenda. And the other change is that we are looking to build more synergy between our partners and what customers are doing, and combining the two community sessions we have into one big one. So you will see that there is a larger audience in these sessions, combining the partners, the Apigee partners, and our customers. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the community. Let us know if there's feedback. We really like to make this as useful for you as we can. And with that, enjoy the rest of the session today.
Awesome. Alrighty, everyone. Quick recap of Kevin's notes. The partner share and learn sessions will be merged into the Apigee Community Tech Talks. So welcome, everyone. If you were already familiar with the Community Tech Talks, this is your space for all of you practitioners, enthusiasts, and developers around Apigee and application integration. So it's good to have you back. Keep an eye out on the following updates we'll be sharing throughout the landing page to which you registered to this session and upcoming sessions we will have. So with that, our speaker for today is Dennis Kalidyansky. As a CEO for the Kalidvis consulting partner for Apigee. And he has a really interesting topic and demo to share with us today. He's gonna do us the introduction of Stropha AO, the new AI-powered Apigee X and Hybrid development and management tool. With that, welcome everyone. Remember that this session is going to be recorded and you're going to find it available through the community. So thank you all for joining us. It's good to have you back. And Dennis, take it over.
Yes, thanks, Alex. I'll now show my screen. Can you hear me all well?
All good, all good.
Good. Okay. So, hi guys. I'm happy to be here. My name is Dennis. I'm an Apigee partner for like maybe 5 years, and I work with Apigee product from 2016, almost 10 years. So I'm going to show you today something very, very interesting that I put all my sweat and tears to it around 2 to 3 years. And it started as a side project, very small one, So when I worked with Apigee, I always wanted to automate some things and make working with Apigee more faster and more efficient for me and for my team. So it started like a small parts of some plugins, and then it grew up to be a very well-defined platform that covers basically two teams in Apigee area. First one is the development. The second one is the operations that deals with Apigee hybrid installation, upgrades, scaling, etc. And the first one is for the development, for the proxies, for the product, and most of all important to utilize all of the Apigee power that we have and utilizing all of the abilities that this product have. So Stropha IDE is a local IDE that you are installing on your PC. The only connection that going out from your PC is one for the Apigee. So we are utilizing, it's a third-party provider product. We are not affiliated with Google. So we are using Apigee official APIs like Apigee X APIs, and we are connecting to many AI models. I will show you something cool in this area as well. So it works on macOS, Windows, Linux, any distribution. It's a local program that you install. You can connect to it with your Google account, like an SSO, and then you will be able to see all of your Apigee organization that you have access to, or you can connect with the help with service account to maybe limit permissions if you want. And then you have the infrastructure mode. I will talk about this later, and the local development with Apigee official emulator. So let's go and dig in and connect to Stropha. So basically, Stropha has a lot of models for Apigee teams, but today I will focus only on the development, like 20 minutes, and then I will have a Q&A from you. And then we will go to infra part for the hybrid installation, upgrade, etc. I prepared already Apigee installation. One we will install together, like in 10 minutes. And the second one is already installed, so I will show you the capabilities around this. So inside Stropha IDE, as you can see on the left side, we have Workbench, where you can manage your proxy, shared flows, products, all the usual suspects that we know in Apigee, right? In the infra, we have DevOps, which is very smart end-to-end with unit testing, smoke testing, load testing, everything you need, and many more tools. So let's focus on the API proxies because this is the game changer for my side. Let's create a simple proxy, and then we will add some AI to it. So what you can see on your screen is actually redesigned Apigee canvas that my team thought about, and our philosophy and our goal that Apigee developer needs to stay only on this screen. So every possible tooling that Apigee developer can dream of, if it's external websites for some extra tooling, for some parsing, or maybe from this screen I want to debug, test, publish my products, do cool stuff without leaving and going via tabs or using extra tooling, CLIs, or some automation. So on the left side, inside the canvas, it's split in 3 areas, right? So left side is, first of all, we have some cool developer tools that are built into IDE. So for example, if I want to create an HTTP signature for my test, I can do it right away inside the screen. I don't need to leave it and go and Google for HTTP signature online or something like this. I also have HMAC generator, JSON formatter, XML formatter, regex tester. So you have all of this tooling inside the RBE, inside our IDE, inside the canvas without leaving and going away. So this is called like a tool belt for Apigee developer inline inside. Then we have the property sets, which is very important when I develop proxies. So it deserves a different space, right? So you can create any property set, then you can add key value pairs in order to utilize it. As you can see, all of the canvas and all of the development, as you will see in this meeting, is purely UI UX and very, very helpful for the Apigee user. So you don't need to actually go and see documentation and guess what is correct and what is not. The IDE helps user to make less errors and build as best practice as possible and ship very, very advanced and good APIs. So, for example, let's move on. I will run about the features, then we will build something, and then we will connect AI to it, and you will see how it works. So default rules, it's actually quite hard to configure fault rules. You need to know the order, you need to know the syntax, you need to add it in your XML. So for fault rules, we have predefined templates. You just click, for example, you want fault rule for API, invalid API key. You choose the template. You can choose also the default fault rule for this. You click next. You can create a condition for it. You can, the IDE will automatically create every policies and every conditions for you, and it will be built inside the canvas itself. I will show you this in a minute. And then we have the Apigee policies. So basically what we did for each policy, we created the maximum amount of configuration that each policy can receive, and also some guardrails for the user. So the policy will be configured in correct way. Because in Apigee, in regular canvas that Apigee has, you can add policy, but in some cases, the policy holds only relative configuration that you can apply, and then you need to go to documentation to see the full configuration spec, read it, write, etc. So for example, if I want to add OAuth2 verification, all I do, I can drag and drop inside the main area. The main area, as you can see, is the proxy endpoint. As we all know, this is the base pass that I can modify. I can add new operation in between, very easy. Currently, we don't have any backend, but we will have it soon. So I drag the policy, which calls OAuth2 verification. When I click on it, you see it's highlighted red. This means that policy is not configured yet. So user clicks on this. On the right side, you have the operations, every single operation that this specific policy supports. For example, I want to generate access token. I click it, and then I can just, in UI, select what grant types I need, the grant type location where I can find it. So every single configuration that this policy can receive, I can configure it via UI UX. No more XML, no more guessing, no more documentation. I can do it right away. And then the cool part here is that some of the policies can accept references like variables. So for example, here, I don't need to guess what global variables Apigee has. I can start typing it right away, and then we have see a list of variables that are available for us. And also Canvas here is policy aware. So I can also use variables that will be generated from other policies. For example, this policy can generate other variables, and I will see it directly inside the these references, right? So let's remove this policy, and we will play with something simple. Verify API key, right? So verify API key, I can create a header. I can expect my API key will arrive in header. I can give it a name like API key. So you see this one, he shows you already the variables that will be generated from API key itself. So other policies also can see all of the variables, both global and the ones that specific policy is generated. So we can see the badge here that says policy, it's already predefined. So actually, let's do it hard-coded for now. And then the same goes for the conditions. So conditions is a pain, right? You need to know the exact syntax, exact operators. So in order to add conditions, you click on add condition. You can write it by yourself, or you can do it visually. So also here we have all of the variables that are available in this current canvas, including the global one. We have all the operators predefined. We have all of the types that can be chosen, all of the values. You can add the rule, you can add nested grouping or end. So it's very easy, even for the beginner, that is for junior worker that only discovered Apigee. to work like this and create very, very good and effective APIs, right? So, and every policy, each policy has his own, let's say, helpers. For example, if I want to use flow callout policy and I want to call shared flow, so in order for me to know what shared flows I have in my organization, I can just select one of the environments and IDE will pull all of the available shared flows for you. So you will know for sure that this shared flow exists in an environment, it's deployed, you can see the revision, you can choose, so it's automatically pulled up for you. Then resource tab is actually managing all of your resource. And we have something cool in JavaScript. So I can create a new JavaScript in Apigee. And then when I modify it, for example, this is the predefined stuff, it has auto-completion with Apigee context. So if I will create new variable called Dennis, and I will start to write get variable, for example, it's Apigee syntax, right? So again, I can see all of the variables ready for me, so I can create JavaScript logic very, very fast without guessing the variable numbers. It's fully auto-completion. It protects the user from creating something that will possibly not work when it is deployed. So the idea of IDE is to protect user and guide user in full UI UX to build good stuff. So with that said, I will clean up a little bit the canvas here. Let's stay with the verify API key policies. So as you can see here, we have the name of the proxy. Then we can see that this proxy is not deployed with service account, so it's grayed out. To this proxy, we can import OpenAPI spec. We can inspect the proxy before we deploy anything. So all I'm showing you now is completely local. We don't even deploy any bundle to Apigee yet. Inspect can help you to see what is the health security-wise of the proxy before we even deploy it. So we do have API key and it's fine, but we don't have any course policies. We don't have any on open API. So it will tell you, it will recommend you add the policy before you deploy. So it's good heads up for the developers to know if the proxy is secure. You can export the zip, of course, locally if you need it. Then we added Git integration. So you can develop the proxy here. You can test it locally without deploying it to Apigee. I will show you this in a minute. Then we just integrated it to Git. So you can push all of your code in this specific proxy to Git. You can pull from Git and start from where you left off. We also support for Git, for example, we support any strategy. It can be folder per proxy. It can be branch per proxy. It can be custom paths, etc. I see a lot of questions, guys. I will answer every question after I will finish the overview of this, right? Okay. So Git integration is inside. You can save locally, so it will be saved inside the IDE state on the local station of the user. So you don't actually need to deploy it to the cloud. And in a minute, you will understand why. And then you can actually deploy it if you are ready and you tested all end to end. From here, for publish, it's the wizard that allows user actually to create product with this proxy that we are developing. So creating all of the triangle, right? So the product, the developer, the application, you don't need to change tabs now and go and search for the proxy and do all the stuff. You can do it directly from here. If proxy deployed, you can debug it live, of course. The debugger, and our debugger is different from Apigee ones because our debugger is actually the same design as this canvas. I will show you this later. So you can see in live where is the debug fail, right? And you can test it. So there is a built-in HTTP client with context as well. And also you have the emulator. So Apigee released a long time ago a local emulator that we incorporated for the user for the local test. So anytime I'm developing without pushing this to actual cloud and make a lot of revision and wait until it's deployed and deployed, I can configure anything here. I can click on emulator. This is my local emulator that's running alongside of the IDE. I can deploy the proxy to the emulator, and then I can test it. So it's deployed now. So if I will send, it will tell me failed to resolve API key because we have the API key policies. I also can enable trace. So we build a trace around it. So once you will hit send again, so we are failed on the policy of the verify API key. Again, all of this is happening locally currently on the IDE, on the user station. You don't need to send anything to Apigee. You can test end to end. And then once it's ready fully, you can actually deploy it to Apigee. So what I want to do now, before I'm moving on, I want to clean up the canvas and I want to show you the AI capability. So IDE is actually pretty smart. IDE holds a vector database with all of the knowledge that I have, my team have, Google documentation. All of this is stored locally, and it has something called blueprints. So blueprints is a set of use cases, and we have like 200 or more for every industry, every situation, like e-commerce, fire, open banking, best practice CRUD APIs, identity management integration, and etc. So LLM is connected via this, let's say, IDE. So it's like local MCP with set of tools that allows LLM to control the canvas. So he can add policies, add conditions, build policy end to end. And I must say, the level of knowledge that we put to this IDE allows to build very sophisticated and very complex proxies within seconds. And the logic with LLM is bring your own API key. So it's not going with us. You're installing IDE, you get your API key. We support all the major vendors like Gemini and Anthropic and ChatGPT. You insert your API, your private API key that stays local on your IDE, and then you are connected to a model of your choice, and you can start working. So I will want to demonstrate and show you how it works. Inside the IDE, we have also something called sticky notes. So sticky notes is like a notepad built inside. So I created some sticky note with task for LLM to build API. So I want to build API. I have a local API on my machine. It's part of the IDE. So you have mock servers inside your IDE, so you don't need to actually test it against real APIs for now. Then I want LLM to create a proxy that has two operations, get echo and post echo. And I want to apply security. I want to apply verify API key. I want to apply quota with 2,500 requests and spike arrest like 10 per second. I want to have for every policy, I want to have specific fault rule with friendly message. So I don't want to expose Apigee errors. And I want in the response to add two headers, right? X proxy version and X powered by Apigee community ID. So let's copy this and let's just paste it to our AI assistant. This button looks good to me, LGTM. It will automatically allow LLM to do any action. So the green boxes that you see is the tooling that LLM calls. So now I can sit down and relax. And what it will do, you see it added the target endpoint. It added two operation. It added a verify API key policy. It added the policy for spike arrest. And finally, the quota. So he added the policy about the response that we asked. He will finish in 10 seconds, and we will see what he is doing. So he added all of the fault rules. Pay attention. He also made a correct fault names for getting the for configuring, for catching the errors within Apigee. So it's done. It costs you around 18 cents for this run. And if we will click on policy, so he created the allow count to, like I asked, 250, so 10 PS. So he configured everything needed. And in post flow, he's adding, you see, he added 2 headers like Xproxy, exactly like I asked. So, but again, I can write my own prompt if I need, or we have a button like emulator end-to-end. I can click it, so it's predefined prompt. Now what we will do, what he will do, he will check if the policy is complete with our initial plan. Then he will deploy it to emulator. Then he will test him by himself, like end-to-end. You can tell him what to do, and you can steer the LLM to do all the work for you. And I must say, this presentation is very, very simple, but oh boy, he can build a very complex proxies, like with 99% of accuracy, right? So let him finish, and we will see what he did. So first, he deployed the proxy to local emulator that we are having now, no Apigee yet. Then he created emulator credentials. Why he did it? Because LLM knows, and by our knowledge base, he knows that proxy is protected with API key. So in order to test it end-to-end, he needs the credentials. So he created local credentials, pushed it to local emulator. Then he did some requests and did some results. And then you can see that all end-to-end is fine. But I can ask him, put, let's say, spike arrest to 1 PS and burst to see if it's working. So I'm asking him to find the policy. We have 10 requests per second. He will modify it. You see, he modified it. He did 1 per second now, and now he's doing the 5 rapid requests. So first one is passed, so it's fine. And then he sends 4 more, and then he tells us too many requests. Okay, and then he also can explain. So this assistant can also explain to any Apigee professional what is done in the policy, what is done in the proxy. He has access to local database. So LLM can basically do anything within seconds. It's very cheap by the token, if we're talking about tokens. So it also have access only read-only, right, to all of your organization that we're connected to. So he can tell you what share flows we have, what key stores we have. He can create share flows. He can look at the other proxy and copy. So basically what human can do, we have a tooling inside the IDE to let LLM work for us. And of course, on existing APIs, you can tell him what's wrong, how we can strengthen security, anything you like. So it's very, very cool. Also, he can write JavaScript. He can write OpenAPI specs based on the context. 100% compatible with everything that Apigee can do. So what we did, let's think for a second. So what we did, we created a proxy. It's a simple proxy, right? But we can also create a very complex proxy by ourselves with drag and drop and configuration. It will speed up and boost your productivity. We can ask LLM to help us. We can test it locally without any deployment. Once we are sure, then we can deploy it to Apigee, to real Apigee, and then do the correct tests from there. And one thing I want to show you, we have this proxy dependencies. So this is the heat map of all the dependencies that proxy actually might have. So this is the simple one, but if we have KVMs, target servers, shared flows, trust store, key stores, we can see what actually exists in our organization, on which environment, if something is not deployed or missing, it will tell you. Okay, so you can be 100% sure that you can develop fully local before you're going to Apigee with clean and best practice configuration. So I think this will cover the development side. Alex, so let's take a break for 2 minutes and take Q&A questions, and then I will move to hybrid part, right?
All righty. So we got a couple of questions from Arun. He's asking, if we're in this tool, don't we need to use Apigee UI at all?
Yes, the idea is to, I would not say not replace, but what Apigee UI has, you have it here. And the idea here that you are working fully local and only using the Apigee API for pulling the data and pushing the data. So it's very fast because you don't need to load all of the dependencies of the Google console, right? So, but yes, my team is not working in Google console at all. They work with this.
Thank you. Another one from Aaron. Where is the Strofa tool hosted and how can we plug into Apigee X? Does it also integrate and import already created proxies from Apigee?
Yes, so it's not hosted. It's local ID. You just download it. Next, finish. You have Windows. We have an XE for it. You have Mac. We have the MG for it. It will be in the marketplace. Of course, when I connected to the in the first place, so I am connected to specific Apigee org. As you can see, this is my playground. So I can connect with my Google account, with service account, and then of course I can see I'm connected to real organizations. So I have 183 proxies. I have share flows. I have products, developers. So this, what you can see here, is the list of my proxies that IDE pulled up from Apigee. So it's sync. It's connect directly to Apigee X, right?
Awesome. Can you import OAS and create policies from the spec?
Wait, Alex. Sorry. Can you repeat? I didn't see you.
Sorry, I guess I had a background noise. Can you import OAS and create policies?
I have a problem with my mic for some reason.
Oh, can you hear me well, Dennis?
Alex, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
But I can hear you for some reason. I don't know.
Just to confirm it's not an issue on mine, and the rest of you can hear me? Okay, thank you. Let's wait for a second for Dennis to be back. And if we don't manage to cover all of your questions, I'll make sure we take these offline and attach an answer to all of your questions in the community post for the recording. Thank you all for the interest. Let's give a couple of more minutes to Dennis to rejoin back while he fixes the audio issue.
So guys, my browser crashed. I don't know why. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
So,
Can you hear me back?
yes.
Okay. All right, Dennis.
Let's
You
continue.
want to continue with another question or?
Yes.
Okay. Where did I left? Can you import OAS and create policies from the spec?
Yeah, sure. But there is a special syntax like X header, whatever, X policy. It's on our website. You can see how we can do it. Yes, but you can do it.
Thanks. Another question from Rafael. Strofa supports Apigee OPDK version as well?
No, not yet, but it is planned. But we are investing our time in modern, so it's Apigee X and Hybrid for now.
All righty. Will we be able to integrate with API portal?
Yes, but it's not yet included in this release because this release is especially for the development and not for the publishing to the portal. But we can think about it if we can include this. Yes.
Got it. Question from Pam, what is the pricing model for Strofa?
It depends. So start version only for the development that I show, it's 99 per developer per seat a month. And next tier is 199 per developer per seat that will include hybrid manager and all other stuff. So it's like 2 models together.
Got it. Can it support multi-org?
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Got it. We got more questions. So do you want to continue answering those, or shall we resume the demo?
Let's continue with the hybrid. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Let's continue with the hybrid because there's a lot of things to show you. By the way, guys, we can do another session because I can't show you because of time limitation about all of the models and all of the answer question, but we can do a follow-up and you can send me an email. I will be happy to work with you later on. Okay, so I'm going to hybrid manager. So hybrid manager is the place for the operations team to install, upgrade, scale, whatever, and control your Apigee hybrid cluster. So how it works? Currently, you see hybrid manager. We have the connections. Connection is different connection to different cluster because basically you can have more than one cluster in your environment. I have currently 2. I'm demonstrating this on JKey, but it's supported for all Kubernetes cluster that Apigee supports. So the JKey cluster 2 is actually have installed Apigee inside. So I will show you what you can do from management and scaling point of view. And JKey cluster 3 is empty cluster without Apigee at all. So we will start with this. And until it installs in the background, we will see what you will get when a cluster is installed. So connection is for managing the connections, and installation is like a local package manager, let's call it, that have configuration for local installation. So what is the package? Package includes all the Helm charts. Under the hood, it still works with Helm charts because this is official Google Helm charts. We are reusing it. And we are utilizing user machine that is admin already and have access, network access to the cluster. One thing, the connection, you can add a new connection, and we support kubeconfig file, GCP service account, AWS credentials, Berry token, client certificate. It all depends on the cluster that you install Apigee to. So inside the installation, the package includes the service accounts, private keys for virtual hosts, overrides file. The sensitive data is encrypted with OS encryption like keychain and DAPI in Windows and keychain in Linux and macOS. So the data is on the user laptop, but it is encrypted and only IDE can encrypt it. So if someone will install your PC and don't have password to your user, you are fine. You can back up the configuration to Git, but only not sensitive ones. So we are removing all of the password, all of the hash keys from the overrides before we do a push. So I will try to explain what the installation is. So instead of user building the overrides and learning about all possible configuration that Apigee Hybrid supports, let me show you what actual installation look like. So you can create a new installation. You can create a new installation, a new upgrade. You can import your current state locally. So you need to build it in a specific way, include overrides, folder of your service accounts, etc. But I already did the new installation for you. I want to show you how it looks. So this one is not installed. This one is installed. I will edit, and new. It looks the same. It just filled, so it will save us time. So there are 10 steps for Apigee installation. in the end, it will create the package validated and that safeguards the user. So basic information, you give the installation logical name, you choose the target Kubernetes platform, okay, that Apigee supports. You choose the Helm chart source where you're going to pull the Helms. It can be directly from Google. It can be from your local repository, or it can be from your local directory. So you can download it, do a writing process with it, whatever, if you're a bank or regulated company, and you can choose it from here. Then user need to choose the Apigee version actually that is supported currently. Once it's done, step 2, you will upload service account for Apigee hybrid runtime. It can be single account for non-production that is recommended, or can be multiple service accounts, so you need to provide for each component a different service account. Then you can configure the data residency. You can configure your GCP project. Once it's configured, we can fetch environments directly from the control plane. And as you can see, I have one dev environment and I have one dev group, so it's automatically mapped. I can upload here certificates for the virtual host. I can self-sign generate them inside the IDE. The IDE generates it for you, or I can upload my own certificates if I need. I can turn on and off some features. And by the way, IDE knows which version supports each flag, so it will not be shown in the old version. But for example, large payload support is supported from version 1.14 and extend the target timeout. So you can configure all of this as you move with the configuration with the steps. You are configuring your end overrides purely in UI UX. No mistakes. You don't need to play with the YAML or do anything else. Step 4 is your cluster configuration, like node selectors, HTTP proxy, all of the stuff. Then you choose, guys, I'm running because I want to show you really good stuff after this. So I'm running, okay? So you get the idea. So step 5 is you choose from where you're going to pull the containers. It can be Google, it can be your registry, policies, same for the cert manager, and IDE knows which cert manager version required for each Apigee version, so it also protects user from something that is not supported. Then you can configure your Cassandra, the size, the storage, the replicas, the backup. You can, in this step, you can configure the backup, all of the stuff that Google supports, new pipelines. By the way, all of the configuration have very detailed explanation and do all of the stuff. The passwords, it will generate. You can fill in your own password, hash keys, all of this required, but we also can generate it. You can save it. You can copy it later to your vault. But IDE will take care for you if you don't want to, type passwords. And then in the step 8, we will generate the actual YAML based on all of the steps that we did before. But there is an advanced editor for power users. So here, Apigee Hybrid has around 500 advanced configuration that you can apply on top of the wizard that we just did. So if I want, for example, to configure Mart and add some annotation, I can do it. And then it will be merged inside the end overrides. So every possible configuration that Apigee can provide can be configured here. And then in step 9, you can run the pre-flight check. So pre-flight check is having a lot of checks. So he's checking the service account, sees, for example, if all required IAM roles is in the service account, all of the, so the organization is ready, license is there, environment configured, like all certificates is fine, override syntax. So if you have passed this, the chance of Apigee installing from the first time are very high. Okay, so this was the idea for the wizard. Then once you're done, you have the package ready. You need to click on install, choose a cluster from the connection. So we have cluster 2, which already have Apigee installed, but we want to install empty cluster, right? So you just click here, click on install, and the installation runs completely under the hood. So I can leave this, I can go and develop some proxies, I can go back. So we see the status here in live, if you can see on the footer. So each step is crafted very carefully. So he's doing the best practice that Google provides. He can retry. He can tell user what's wrong if something happens. In the way you can stop the process, you can retry it. So, for example, here he created the namespace. He prepared the package. So he parsed all of the package contents, created all of the secrets. It's installed Cert Manager. And now he's applying CRDs, operator, Cert Manager, patch we needed for the version 1.16. If somebody installs, so you know, then he will install all of the components, verify the installation, and tell user, you are done. So let's leave it now, and let's go to something called Cluster Inspector. So Cluster Inspector is the ability, I will switch between the clusters. So 3 is installing now, and we're going to the second one. So he also actually has Apigee installed. So this tool allows you as a sysadmin to see health and control your Apigee installation. You can see the number of your nodes where Apigee installed with all of the metrics. You can see all of the pods that Apigee currently deployed. So you can see what's good, what's not. We have some pods stuck here in pending, which is fine because this is the monetization pod, and I don't have any monetization. But we can also see logs directly. For example, I open the log from inside the pod to Cassandra. I can see the logs. I can follow the trail. I can refresh. I can copy, export. I can filter. I can find. So I don't need to open my kubectl. I don't need to go and try to understand in SSH what happens to my pod. I can do it all from here. I can describe the pod. I can see the configuration. I can see the initial YAML. I can see the metrics. I can see everything from here. Same for services, same for storage, same for backups. So backups one, this is actually cool because here I can see all of my backups that run in the cron that I configured in the backup. And I can click run now, and it will back my snapshot for my Cassandras instantly. So it will span a job, official job that Apigee provides, and I don't need to run any jobs. I can do it right here before any upgrade. So certificates is the same, Helm is the same. You can see the versions, you can see all of the stuff. And then I want to show you something very, very cool. I call this topology. I like this very much. So this is the actual Apigee that we have currently. So this is the interactive map of all the components, pods, services, everything. And in real time, we can even see what traffic goes to Google Cloud API, for example. So you can focus in and see, for example, which pod talks to Cassandra pod, right? So we can see that runtime currently is down because I'm installing second cluster on the first one and it breaks it. So this is the idea to show you. And I can see that Mart is dead, runtime is dead, synchronizer is dead. But I can click on each pod dynamically and see how my Apigee works. Right? If we have a real traffic from the external ingress, you will see the actual metrics like this one. So let me show you. For example, if I will click on Apigee API, we can see that synchronizer is sending 2 requests per second with latency 63 ms. And I'm pulling all of these metrics from Apigee directly, via Kubernetes APIs, etc. So in real time, I can see and diagnose my cluster, what's wrong, what's good, how can I fix it. So this is the topology, right? Then we have, on top of topology, we have something called Cassandra Doctor. So Cassandra Doctor is basically, you can connect to the cluster, create a client Cassandra pod, and even see your Cassandra tables, key spaces. It's read-only. You cannot delete anything. You cannot touch it. It's only for informational purposes. But you can actually see how Cassandra works. So I'm connected to my Cassandra currently, and I can see it's dead because the second installation is messing up my Cassandra, but I can see the data. I can query it with SQL if I need. I can see the compaction, snapshot, statistic, analytics, everything that Cassandra can provide me as an sysadmin, I can see it, right? I can do the configuration from this tab. Then I have IDE has the troubleshooting center. So if something happened, or you want just troubleshoot your installed cluster, or maybe in the middle of the installation, you want to troubleshoot existing upgrade or installation, it has a playbooks that Google provides that goes and gathers all the information and gives the user like what you need to do. So your pods are crashing, something not good. And currently we failed because I think so organization died because I already have organization. So there's a 2 JKE cluster that connected to one control plane and they are conflicting. And also we have the LLM connected to it. So you see, once it's failed, LLM jumped in and told me, okay, the installation test failed on step so I can ask him, what is the problem? What is the problem with my installation? And it will connect to cluster. It will use same tooling that we have in proxy building, but for hybrid. And it will, so he will get the cluster summary in a second. And he will try to help me to see what is the problem and tell me how to fix it. So he's telling me, so the test one was previously installed and we're installing test 3 on top of it. And he will give me the options. Keep test 2 or clean up or upgrade or clean up stack releases. So I can install this. I even can install Apigee Hybrid or upgrade it by writing prompts. I don't need to do all the work that I show manually because everything that I'm showing you in UI, LLM has access to it. So he has a set of tools that with these tools, he can actually connect to cluster and do very great things. So our cluster currently is, I think it's degraded because of the conflict, but it's good because I wanted to show you that we have active alerts, like organization is not running because we messed the Helm releases. We installed. So yes, this is the part of hybrid. I need to wrap up because we don't have time, but we also have cluster manager when you can scale up, scale down, add environments in one click. So installing, upgrading, and expanding Apigee. Plamen, it's a good question. I see your question. What does the I'm bored button do? It lets you play, right? You're installing and you are bored, so you can catch some marked pods and try to not catch any error. So this one is just for fun, right? So there's a built-in game that you can play with it once you have the installation running. Okay, I will take questions now, Alex, and then we can maybe follow up with people that are interested to see more.
So we have one question from Harold. How does it handle versioning and revisions when developing locally? To have a controlled version of the development in case we want to go a step back or similar?
Yes, this question not for hybrid, for the development, right? I assume. So like Apigee has revision, this IDE have all the local drafts with the revisions, with the version, and because of its IDE, So you can go Control Z, Control X inside and play with it. But all of the versions that are stored locally, that are they are stored like in zip bundles with sub revisions locally, like Apigee does, right?
Got it. Thank you. Next question from Vijay. Is there an option to choose LLM models, and is it configurable?
Yeah, sure. You can configure your AI. Currently, we support Gemini and Anthropic. So you can choose your model. You can also choose the model as you need. You can start with one model. You can switch it inside the development. No problem. It's your own key, your own models. It also can work with API key, with the model garden. It can work with Bedrock, with anything, right? So yes, you can choose whatever you need.
Nice. Does your IDE connect to a Git repo and version the API there? Would that be one repo for all APIs or repo per API?
It's up to you. So if we will go to let's take some simple proxy, and when you want to push to GitHub, you can choose the strategy. It can be folder per API proxy, so it can be a single branch. Each proxy can have his own separate folder. It can be branch per proxy, which I recommend. And custom path, you can play with it. So it's up to you. So three strategies are in place. So it will look like this: proxies, API proxies, or branch. It will be inside specific branch, right?
Thank you, Dennis. Is my understanding correct? This tool is an IDE on top of Apigee X, providing AI capabilities and all the features of Apigee X?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. How does merge and pull requests works if we use Git for versioning?
It just pushes and creates new commit each time that someone pushes. And if you have your Git configured for pull and the approval, it's up to Git. So we're just doing the commit with every version on every push.
Got it. Is there a free version to try this tool?
Yes, there is a free version that will be released, I think, in 2 or 3 days. The free version will not include all that I show you. It will include the local development. So you can play with the same canvas, with the same capabilities, but only locally. You cannot push it to real Apigee, and hybrid model is not included. So for local development, you will get canvas, testing, and local emulator management.
Nice. Is there documentation available?
Yes, it's on. We will send you a summary and survey, and then will be a site. But it's stropha.io. You can see and you can go and see all the documentation available and all the capabilities. We have some YouTube videos with demos that you can also check out.
Got it. Can it support multi-runtimes across different regions?
Yes, of course. It's multi-tenant, multi-org, and multi-hybrid. So if your question was about multi-DC, like install and connect, create another DC in hybrid, yes. In the development part, so you can connect with your Google account, and if your Google account has access to more than one org, you will see all the org in the list and drop down, and you can switch between them. Or if you connect in a service account that has access to more than one org, you also can see them drop down and switch, no problem.
Got it. I'm assuming this has already been answered, but is there any documentation on how to integrate this with Apigee for installation and deployment, etc.?
It's very easy. All you need is the credentials. It's actually integrated. So if for example, if there's a service account that I have 2 here, and I choose my second Kali3 org, which is hybrid one, and I connect with it, it will not connect because I rotated the key, but let's stick with the first one. So once I connected, I am connected to specific Apigee organization, which is paid, it's subscription, by the way, it supports pay-as-you-go, of course. But once you connected, you are in context of the organization, so you can see all of your API proxies. You can see, of course, all of your analytics, everything that Apigee can provide. So we wrap up every single Apigee API to put it inside single IDE, right?
Nice. I know we are ahead of time. So do you want to still continue answering questions? And there's just a few of them.
Yeah, let's take two more and we can wrap up.
Got it. Is there a version control on the hybrid configuration?
Yes, yes. Each time you create a package, it has a version, and logic works like this. So when you created an installation and it's installed successfully, it stays with the version that you are installing it. So when you do some modification, it will create a subversion. It will be like nested tree here. So I have only one, but you can switch between them. And once it's upgraded, for example, it will become archived installation, and the new version becomes the active one. So you always move your installation and all of the configuration with the Apigee versions as well.
Thank you, Dennis. Can you generate OpenAPI spec for an existing proxy?
Not by hand, but LLM can do it. This is the idea. You can tell LLM generate me OpenAPI spec based on the context, so LLM will see all of the skeleton, all of the operations, and then you need to work with him with the parameters like integer and regex, but it can do it for you.
Got it. Thank you, Dennis. So to the rest of those that we don't have the time to cover the rest of your questions, I'll make sure we give you the answers to the community post when we archive the recording. Dennis, this has been a great presentation to get us back on track to the community tech talks. Thank you all for the engagement. And before we leave, I would appreciate you all if you can take a couple of seconds to share the feedback for these sessions. You just got to look for the tools on the right top corner of your Google Meet. Select the purple table that you will see in there and cast your vote. This is going to help us to make sure we continue bringing topics that you're most interested in and that we continue improving alongside what we share with you. So with that, here's a quick catch-up if you haven't seen it already in the community. These are the latest articles, tutorials, and guides that have been shared by Googlers to you. Feel free to check this out. I just copy and pasted the links in the chat for you to access this. But if you'd like to take a deep dive into further content that have been shared in the community, just go and search for the Apigee community, browse the Knowledge Hub in the community site, and you'll be able to see all the contents that Googlers have shared. And stay tuned for the upcoming community sessions that we'll be having in March. We look forward to seeing you here. And like Dennis said, if you'd like to have a follow-up session on these, feel free to let us know. We are going to be driving these community sessions based on your feedback, because ultimately the community was built for all of you guys. With that, thank you all so much for joining the session. It was a great topic that you presented with us today, Dennis, and we'll see you the next time.
Sure.